Do you ever feel like there's a monster trapped in you and you just gotta release it? No, not this guy. Chase Lucky here with the Blue Futon reviewing Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's new film. So, what's about? Pretty simple premise. If you've seen the trailer, you kind of know what the movie's about. Josh Hartnett is a serial killer, and this concert is a trap to catch him. Will he be able to survive? Will he be able to make it out alive? Will his family make it out of alive? Who is he going to threaten to kill? Who did he kill? We're going to get these answers and why the FBI really wants him. Of course, everyone knows why the FBI wants him, but anyway, Mickey, did I like this movie called Trap? I think it's a pretty good movie. It does there's a lot of questions though. I'm not going to spoil this movie because it just came out, and I think that'd be unfair for our audience because this is an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You're going to expect some twists and turns. You're going to expect some oh snap moments. You're going to expect some things where you're like, I didn't think about that, but does it actually work? And there are levels to this movie where when the third act comes, there's this like little levels of like unbelievability. It starts to like pile up, pile up, pile up, pile up. And I think some people in the audience felt it as well. And there was one scene at the very end where someone gets abducted and there's a screen of it and people start laughing because how weird edited it was. And it looked kind of weird. People are calling this a Nepo movie because apparently this is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter is the singer. She's the one that wrote the songs, performed the songs, and is acting in this movie. However, I could give two shits about that because A, who produced it? M. Night Shyamalan. He's putting his own money in this movie, so I don't care that his daughter is in it. Don't freaking care. I mean, she has a good voice. If she wrote the songs herself, pretty good, and she acted pretty well in this. I don't know if it's the same daughter though that did The Watchers, which I wasn't the biggest fan of The Watchers, but I think Trap is acted extremely well. Josh Hartnett does a fantastic freaking job. And yes, M. Night Shyamalan is also in this movie. He does a good job. I do think Josh Hartnett's daughter also does a good job in this movie. The way the movie looks, I really dug the cinematography of how different it is. How the person's face, there's a lot of scenes where it's literally center stage. And I really enjoyed that where you're trying to get these people's reactions. They're looking at you eye to eye. And you're trying to figure out, what do they believe? What do they don't believe? And things like that. So I really dug the cinematography of how it is. The editing, I really like the editing overall. I like the score. I like the songs itself. Even though I'm not a pop song-esque type of person, I didn't mind the songs that were being performed. Yes, can you say that there was a lot of it, even though it makes no goddamn sense, a lot of it. Yes, there are a lot of songs in this movie. So, yes, about the first hour of this movie is at this concert. And of course, you've seen the trailer where there are some house scenes. There's things outside the movie theater. And that's about the 2.5 third act of this movie. So I'd say about an hour of this movie's concert, 45-esque minutes of this movie is not concert. It is doing random stuff outside the venue. Of course, it's in Philadelphia because this is where he's from. And a lot of the movies that he does are there, like Sixth Sense, etc. Okay. The ending-esque of it, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but it does make me think of where does the believability stop and why are some of these characters doing what they're doing. Yes, you can say some of these characters are doing it just because they want to be good at what they're doing or they have a good heart of trying to get something. However, I do feel like there is missed opportunities for connecting some of the people that are helping to things that occurred in the past. There's things with jewelry. There's things with just helping. There's things with family members. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil it because it just came out. But there are just things where they bring stuff up. And I am not comfortable with where they went. There's also other scenes in this movie about just how it ended overall. I'm going to think it's going to go one way with how he wants to end it because there are things in the movie that he says that he's going to do XX or XX, and then there's something that happens at the very end, and you're thinking, okay, Is he going to continue that path, or is he going to do something else? That's all I'm going to say on that level. The family. Like I said, there were a couple of scenes in this movie where I'm like, oh, is that going to be the twist? Is that going to be the twist? Is that going to be the twist? And I was wrong on every single one. Is that a fault of mine that I just didn't see the script, or I was expecting the twists to come? Yes, you could say there are some twists that do occur, but I was expecting some more left field, the visit, the village type of shit. But it wasn't that twistier that I thought it was going to be. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, that sucks. Or people are going to be okay with it. I want to say being conventional, but being an overall well-crafted experience. People said they weren't expecting the ending for Knock at the Cabin. I saw that from a million miles away. I didn't think that was a twist, but some people did. I disagree with that overall. And the one he did before that, of course, you have Split, you have Glass, which is like Unbreakable. Are those any twists in those movies? I mean, not really. You do talk about it overall, though. So yes, this is probably the most bare bone review ever, because I'm not going to be a person to spoil the movie for you. I'm not going to be the person to wreck the movie for you, because after seeing the audience in this, seeing the audience, it was a pretty packed house at 9-10 p.m. on a Thursday night. A lot of teenagers. I think the popness songs of it is going to thrive this movie to be number 2. Because people are saying it's going to be this or Twisters. I do think after seeing this and seeing how packed the theater was, I think it's going to be Trapped. I don't know, though, what the audience score is going to be, because I felt like a lot of people did enjoy it. But then I think some people probably were a little underwhelmed overall. So yes, Trap, it looks fantastic. It's acted great. Josh Hartnett does a great job with the face twitching. It looks, like I said, solid. I think it's written pretty well. The third act, it's one of the ones where I want to talk about it, but the thing is, I probably won't do a spoiler review, because I don't think there's a need to, because there's not, after you watch the movie, I don't think there's a lot of stuff to, I would say, spoil. There might be stuff to talk about with what character choices are, what they realize, what they recognize, because there's just things where I don't know if the FBI would be talking to some other people, or some people at that time in the moment would do exactly what they're doing. But it's still a well-crafted, thought-out movie. So Trap will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals at 70%. So see, the critics and user scores gave this one. So it looks like it critics a 50%. It's been fluctuating every time I click this, so I bet you $20 when I put this up on the screen. It's not going to be 50 anymore, but I'm at 28 reviews. The audience is at 68. I could see that being that with 100 verified, probably no critic consensus yet. But yeah, they're saying a surprisingly straightforward thriller. It is, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So we had the 50, the 70, and the 68. Chase Suyak here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope no things Bhutontopia. You Bhuftonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Don't watch today, tomorrow, week from, month, or a year from. I love every single freaking one of you. And just don't kill people like this. Except if it's a revenge. If someone rapes you and you want revenge, cut their penis off and shove it in their mouth.